Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you try, something invisible always sabotages your plans, your goals, your dreams? What if I told you that what's holding your life back isn't outside you, but inside, dormant, suffocated, and ignored? There is an extraordinary force within you, capable of creating, healing, and transforming everything, your sexual energy. But when it's repressed, that same energy becomes a silent poison, undermining everything you try to manifest. In this video, you'll discover how this energy is directly tied to your vibration, your creativity, your self-esteem, and why freeing it could be the missing step to unlocking the prosperity, the love, and the fulfillment you crave. And before we continue, write in the comments, "I activate the creative power of my life force." Your declaration is a key. It attracts good vibrations, reinforces your commitment, and kickstarts your transformation. For decades, conventional science ignored the role of sexual energy as a creative force in reality. But Jacobo Grinberg, one of the greatest consciousness researchers, saw beyond what the physical eyes can perceive. He devoted his life to studying the neuronal field, a hidden matrix of information that connects mind, body, and universe. According to Grinberg, the reality we experience is a direct mirror of our perceptual structure, namely, what we feel, believe, and emit vibrationally. And this is where sexual energy becomes crucial. It is the most concentrated expression of life force, the very energy that shapes our thoughts and intentions in the physical world. When this energy is repressed, blocked, or denied, it transforms into patterns of self-sabotage, disease, insecurity, and emotional limitation. That deeply affects our capacity to create, attract, and manifest. We're not talking about sex for pleasure itself, but the subtle energy that fuels desire, creativity, and the expansion of consciousness. Other scholars, like Carl Jung, Wilhelm Reich, and even ancient spiritual traditions, recognized this power. But Grinberg went further, showing how sexual repression directly affects the frequency we emit and therefore the reality we experience. Few truly understand the power of sexual energy. It's not merely a biological drive aimed at reproduction. It is, in fact, the purest expression of the life force animating all living beings. It's this same force that drives the creation of life, the birth of ideas, and the motivation to evolve, transform, and expand. When we speak of manifestation, we mean turning the invisible into the visible, desire into reality. And sexual energy is the most potent fuel for that process. For millennia, the tantric tradition has taught that sexual energy is sacred. In the human body, it's directly linked to the second chakra, the center of pleasure, creativity, and connection to life's flow. When consciously activated, this energy rises up the spine and awakens higher centers, directly influencing our vibrational field. And here's the most important point. Everything you manifest in your life responds to your vibrational field. Jacobo Grinberg stated that reality isn't fixed, but shaped by the neuronal field, a web of invisible threads where our emotions, thoughts, and intentions interact with the universe's structure. In that field, sexual energy acts as a master key because it carries an extremely high frequency, a vibration charged with intensity, passion, and authentic creative desire. That's why, when you're in love, inspired, or deeply connected to a purpose, everything seems to flow. Your vibrational field is activated and aligned. Yet most people live with this energy stagnant, whether due to cultural repression, trauma, religious guilt, or unconscious fear. They end up suffocating this vital force. What was meant to be a source of creation becomes a reservoir of frustration, anxiety, and low self-esteem. That directly interferes with your vibration and consequently with your ability to attract what you want. Sexual energy doesn't necessarily have to be expressed through sexual acts. It can be channeled into creating art, launching a project, healing emotionally, or manifesting abundance. The secret lies in recognizing it, welcoming it, and directing it with awareness. When this energy is activated and elevated, it clears blockages and expands perception, allowing you to tune in to higher frequencies of reality. Many spiritual thinkers say that God is the creative energy. And if that's true, your sexual energy is a spark of that same divine power. Failing to recognize this is like ignoring the flame of your own soul. By reclaiming this connection, you not only become more magnetic, creative, and inspired, but you also open the door to faster, smoother manifestation aligned with your true self. Sexual repression is one of the most silent and profound forms of self-sabotage. When sexual energy is contained, denied, or shamed, it doesn't vanish. It redirects. Almost always, that redirection happens unconsciously and dysfunctionally. What could have been a force for creation and expansion turns into anxiety, depression, insecurity, and repetitive patterns of failure. That repressed energy, when it can't find natural expression, generates internal tension that destabilizes the emotional field and blocks the body's vibrational flow. From childhood, we are taught to feel shame about sexuality. Phrases like, "That's ugly," "Don't touch there," or "Good girls don't do that," shape a psychic structure of self-denial. This isn't just a moral or cultural issue, it's an energetic amputation. By denying our sexuality, we deny ourselves. And when we deny our essence, we weaken our manifesting field. Jacobo Grinberg explains that the neuronal field, a web configuring reality, is highly sensitive to emotional states and inner coherence. Where there's repression, there's conflict. And conflict distorts perception. You begin to see the world through lenses of fear, lack, and guilt. Reality molds itself around that. Manifestation then becomes stuck, slow, or simply non-existent. Not because you don't deserve it, but because your vibration is misaligned with what you want. Moreover, repressed sexual energy creates tensions in the body's energy centers. When the second chakra, governing pleasure and creativity, is blocked, it causes difficulty in forming connections, low self-esteem, impulsivity, or apathy. The energy that should circulate freely among the centers accumulates and stagnates. This overload in the emotional body triggers outbursts of anger, unexplained sadness, and a constant feeling of frustration. Many behavioral addictions also arise as unconscious attempts to release stagnant energy. Binge eating, pornography dependence, social media addiction, even financial or relational sabotage can all signal that uncontrolled sexual energy is trying to express itself any way it can. It's important to understand, repression is not the same as conscious control. To repress is to deny. To control is to recognize and channel. When you suppress an energy as powerful as the sexual, it becomes shadow. And the shadow, when unintegrated, runs your life behind the scenes. It attracts painful experiences, destructive relationships, and situations that mirror exactly the blocks you carry. The good news is that any repression can be transformed into power. The first step is to shine light on what has been hidden. Observe your emotions, your impulses, your fears, and welcome them without judgment. From there, the energy that once sabotaged you begins to become your ally. And that's where true manifestation starts, not by force, but by release. Sexual energy repression isn't only an intimate issue, it reverberates across every area of life. When this creative force is blocked, the impact isn't limited to emotional or relational fields. It directly affects your capacity to manifest abundance, maintain physical and emotional health, and align with a clear life purpose. Flowing sexual energy not only activates pleasure, but also magnetism, vitality, and creativity, essential pillars for living a full life. In the realm of abundance, repressed sexual energy interferes with self-worth and deservingness. Those who live in self-denial rarely feel worthy of receiving. Many wish to prosper but unconsciously vibrate scarcity because they carry guilt and shame around pleasure. That creates a contradictory cycle. The desire to grow is present, but the energetic body sends signals of limitation. The result? Manifestation fails. The universe, responding to your vibration, detects the internal conflict and returns experiences that match that incoherence. From a health perspective, the impact is also profound. Stagnant sexual energy accumulates in the body's lower centers, creating tensions that manifest as physical symptoms, hormonal issues, reproductive system imbalances, insomnia, chronic fatigue, even autoimmune diseases can have roots in a blocked energy system. The body speaks what mind and spirit are trying to hide. When there's repression, life force loses its flow, and disease emerges as a distorted expression of that energy. Jacobo Grinberg taught that the body is only a reflection of consciousness. When there's vibrational alignment, the body enters a state of natural regeneration. But when there's repression, the neuronal field contorts and the body responds with symptoms. This isn't about blame, but ignorance. Most people haven't been taught to care for their life force. They've been taught to control, suffocate, or deny it. And that has a cost. Regarding purpose, sexual energy is one of the most potent engines for awakening true vocation. It drives the passion for something greater, the connection to a soul mission. When blocked, symptoms like lack of motivation, feeling lost, or the constant sense of living a meaningless life arise. A person works, fulfills obligations, but feels empty, like something essential is missing, and indeed it is, the connection to one's inner fire. Releasing sexual energy isn't about seeking superficial pleasure, but igniting the spark of inner creation. When you reconcile with your life force, you begin to vibrate at a frequency of authenticity. And authenticity is the ideal field for attracting opportunities, healthy relationships, natural abundance, and profound meaning. The role of consciousness. According to Jacobo Grinberg and reality's reconfiguration by life force, Jacobo Grinberg went beyond conventional science by proposing that reality isn't an external event, but an internal phenomenon created by the structure of consciousness. He said we live inside a neuronal field, a subtle perceptual network that filters and organizes everything we see, feel, and experience. This field not only interprets reality, it constructs it. And the raw material for that construction is the energy we emit. From this perspective, sexual energy has a central role as the engine of reality's transformation. Grinberg claimed that human consciousness works like a projector. What's encoded inside each individual, beliefs, emotions, traumas, desires, is projected outward and manifests as life experience. We don't live what we want, but what we vibrate. When sexual energy is repressed, it distorts that projection. The field becomes chaotic, and the reality that emerges mirrors that chaos. Confusing relationships, financial blocks, physical illness, lack of purpose. It's life expressing the misalignment of the inner field. Conversely, when this life force is recognized and used consciously, a deep reconfiguration of the neuronal field takes place. Perception expands. Reality adjusts to reflect a new internal state of coherence. That happens because sexual energy is directly linked to the primal creative impulse. This force generates life, and generating life isn't limited to biology. It means generating ideas, projects, bonds, solutions, and paths. Every act of manifestation is, essentially, a spiritual sexual act, the union of desire and action, of intention and materialization. For Grinberg, the secret of manifestation is aligning your vibration with what you desire. And that's only possible when there's no internal conflict. Sexual repression is one of the main saboteurs of vibrational harmony because it carries guilt, shame, and fear, dense emotions that block consciousness expansion. When overloaded by these emotions, the neuronal field loses its ability to integrate new possibilities and closes itself into repetitive patterns. Transformation, then, begins with accepting your own life force. It's not about license, but liberation. It's the courage to look inward, acknowledge impulses, heal traumas around sexuality, and reclaim the divine right to create your own reality. In that process, consciousness expands and the neuronal field restructures. The result is a new way of seeing, and consequently of living. The universe responds to your consciousness's vibration. When you vibrate fear, it gives you reasons to fear. When you vibrate desire mixed with guilt, it delivers frustration. But when you vibrate desire with awareness, love, and trust, reality begins to conspire in your favor. This isn't magic, it's science applied to spirituality. And that's exactly what Jacobo Grinberg taught us. Unlocking sexual energy doesn't require breaking with spirituality. On the contrary, it's a reunion with it. True spirituality recognizes the body as temple and life force as an extension of the divine. Transmuting this energy isn't repressing it nor surrendering to unconscious pleasure, but converting it into a force for creation, healing, and manifestation. For that, there are powerful practices aligning body, mind, and spirit, consciously freeing the energy flow. Essential practices to liberate your life force, conscious breathing. Sexual energy is activated by the movement of vital air, prana. Breathwork, like pranayama or circular connected breathing, lets you move accumulated energy from the body's lower centers to its higher centers. Try inhaling deeply, visualizing energy rising from the base of your spine to the crown of your head. This promotes energetic transmutation, bringing mental clarity and vibrational uplift. Mindful touch and self-nurturing. Many people feel shame or guilt touching their own bodies. Turning this into a self-healing ritual is revolutionary. Touch, when done with presence and intention, reconnects you with your life force. You can massage energy centers, make gentle movements, or simply place your hand on your belly and breathe deeply. The body responds to care and energy begins to flow. Creative visualization. In a relaxed state, imagine your sexual energy as a vibrant, golden light flowing smoothly through your body. Visualize it expanding beyond your skin, creating a magnetic field around you. This practice strengthens your energetic presence, boosts manifestation power, and rebuilds your self-image as a creator. Power affirmations. Words carry vibration. Repeating phrases with emotion forms new neural connections. Examples: my life force is sacred and creative. I transcend guilt and activate my inner power. My presence is magnetic and abundant. Repeat them in calm states, preferably before sleep when the mind is most receptive, as Grinberg recommended. Kundalini meditation. This practice works directly with elevating sexual energy up the spine, using postures, mantras, and breath. Beginners can start with simple guided sessions. Over time, Kundalini dissolves deep emotional and energetic blockages, creating a supportive environment. Care for your physical space, your relationships, and your input, images, words, and emotions. Sexual energy needs space to flow and awareness to be guided. It's not enough to unblock. It must be directed. The more aligned your internal and external environment, the more this energy becomes a source of manifestation, wholeness, and light. Integrating sexual energy into manifestation doesn't mean using it randomly or instinctively. It means recognizing this force as a direct link to the divine, the energy that creates universes, gives life, and drives existence's flow. When you honor it consciously, it shifts from a repressed impulse or aimless desire into a powerful tool for intentional manifestation. 3. Keys to integration. Body sacralization. Your body isn't just a physical vehicle, it's the temple housing creative energy. Every manifestation starts with how you view yourself. Guilt, shame, or self-rejection cause creative energy to retract, but treating your body with respect, care, and gratitude opens it, letting your sexual energy flow naturally. This creates a magnetic field favoring soul-aligned manifestations. Presence in pleasure. We live in a society that pursues pleasure as escape, but doesn't experience it as a portal for expansion. Conscious pleasure, sensory, emotional, or spiritual, activates brain areas linked to creativity, intuition, and flow state. These states are essential for manifesting because they let you access uncommon ideas, solutions, and insights. When you allow yourself to enjoy with presence, you elevate your vibration and tune into higher realities. Union of sexual energy and spiritual intention. Every true desire carries a spark of mission. Aligning your sexual energy with a greater intention, such as serving, growing, healing, or loving, turns desire into devotion. At that point, manifestation doesn't occur solely for personal gain, but as a reflection of your alignment with the universe's flow. This creates a vibrational magic that opens doors rational effort never could. Jacobo Grinberg said that the universe responds to coherence, and there is no greater coherence than a human being uniting body, mind, and spirit in a single purpose. Integrated sexual energy dissolves internal fragmentation. It aligns energy centers and dissolves the duality between material and spiritual. You stop choosing between spirituality or pleasure, achievement or connection, and you begin living in wholeness. To manifest a new reality, you need to become a clear, fluid, vibrant channel. And that starts when you accept your life force as part of your light. There is nothing dirty about it. What corrupts it are fear, guilt, and ignorance. But when you honor it, listen to it, and direct it with love, it becomes the ultimate accelerator of your evolutionary process. Manifestation is the fruit of integration, and sexual energy, when respected and channeled with purpose, becomes the breath that gives shape to the invisible. Now that you understand the true power of your sexual energy, the question remains, what will you do with it? Continue ignoring this life force, allowing it to operate unconsciously and sabotage your dreams? Or choose, from today onward, to awaken this power with awareness, love, and purpose? Repressing your creative energy may have held you back for a long time, but now you hold the keys to turn it into freedom, magnetism, and manifestation. Start with small steps. Breathe with more presence. Touch your body with respect. Notice thoughts of guilt or shame and replace them with power affirmations. Visualize the life you desire and feel as if it's already yours. Transformation doesn't happen from the outside in. It's born from the reunion with your own center. If this message resonated with you, if something awakened within you, subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications. Here you'll find a safe space to grow, heal, and reconnect with your essence. And share this video with someone who needs this awakening too. Remember, your sexual energy is not the problem, it is the solution. And your new reality begins the moment you allow yourself to feel and create with truth.